Alright, okay, here's part 3. Well, I'll just talk about my general recollections of my experience at auto assembly. Before I get started, got a few more new subscribers. At least one of them was due to, auto assembly. So, Omega Supreme, spelt with a 9 instead of a G. Thank you very much. Barry Shaw, much appreciated. Craig Tevez 1, and Toy Nerd Reviews, who at the beginning of the convention was following me around, unbeknownst to me, and I appear in one of their videos. Only in passing, but thanks for that, guys. Hope you got what you were wanting at the tombola table. Anyway, auto assembly. Let's talk about stuff, experience. Let's get the Transformers YouTube community spotting out of the way first. When I turned up just before 9 o'clock, obviously I come into the foyer. I've got my phone out of my pocket to look at the itinerary on my Adobe reader, and I was trying to make me figure out the map of the place, and then I saw loads of people lining up, so I thought, oh, I suppose I better go and get in a queue. Of course, this is the queue to get where is it? What was wrong with it? Here it is. If I can get to it. To get your pass. My name is Jason, by the way, for all you who don't know. Anyway, so I got the pass. While I was doing that, I saw Stu the Mighty Grimnock and family go walking past, and when we lined up in the queue to get in, there was about 12 people in front of us. So just stood in the queue watching people walking past as they were walking down the long corridor to get to the end of the queue. And who else did we see? Bubs walked past along with the InGen posse, Excellion, the Mighty H, the Amazing H, Luffy, Stylo. They all went past. Also, Jim Monkey's NTV, who was busy doing something, carrying some sort of clipboard or something. He was wandering around talking to people. And I also saw the Juice 84. So then the queue finally got moving. We started going in. And when I got in, it was absolute pandemonium. It was heaving with people, and I must have walked around for a good, like I said, a good 30-40 minutes before I actually spent anything. During this initial period of sort of mingling with the masses, I saw Bubs walk past me a couple of times. Now, he had contacted or put a message on one of my previous emails and says, when I see you, I'm going to come up to you and give you a fist bump. And strange that, because he walked past me at least 3 times, and then when I sort of came across him again, it was like, right, okay, here you go. So I come up to him with my fist out, sort of tapped him on the shoulder, and he'd come round and, knuckles met, and had a quick hello, how you do with Bubs. Much appreciated, pal. Well, obviously, we was all, busy trying to seek out what we wanted to buy, so that was only a brief introduction. And then, obviously, started going around, and saw a few other people, saw other Transformers YouTube community members walking around. Saw Dave, Smizno Dave Mentz, just whizzing around, looking at stuff. And I saw, TF Knowlesy, even though I'm not a subscriber of his, or I haven't really watched any of his videos, but I do know of him. He seemed to be all over the place. Jim Monkey's NTV, again, saw him going about. Later on in the morning, saw Dorian Vigadef. He was mulling about, and then over at Space Bridge. Later on in the morning, I was rummaging through the big boxes full of loose toys, and there was Stu the Mighty Grimnock stood right next to me. So I had a quick chat with him and introduced myself, because obviously he subscribed to my channel, and you know, shook hands and how do you do, and then you know, I thanked him because he put a very nice comment on one of my videos that I did a few weeks ago, and I was quite pleased about. So I thanked him for that. And then he mentioned, oh, by the way, all the YouTube guys are, you know, gathering at the bar at 2:30 for a bit of a get together. So I thought, well, okay, fair enough. So then I did the rest of the morning session, picking up me, filling me bags with booty. Went back to the car for lunch. Then when I came back after lunch, went back to the space bridge, and I was convinced myself to get this leader class Optimus Prime, and there was 2 of them on top in bags, one in robot mode, one in truck mode, and I was trying to figure out, you know, which version's which, and also they got the earlier ones, the from the first movie, in the background as well. So I couldn't figure out which one was which, and then I turned to my left, and there's Ray, Isle of Mess. So I, you know, said hello to him and introduced myself, even though he's not actually seen any of my videos. But I just asked him, you know, where you been, and obviously he's been busy with his music interests, and I think he's one of these people who's gone off YouTube a bit since it went all Google Plus. So he's not been so active on YouTube since that happened. So yeah, I had a very, very quick chat to him, and I did ask him. I says, you know, do you know which one of these, you know, which Optimuses these are? You know, are they Revenge of the Fallen or the you know, Dark of the Moon? He says, oh, I don't know. And I thought, oh shit, you know, I forgot he likes Beastbots, not Optimuses. Anyway, so you know, we went our separate ways. Of course, I've been watching some of the other videos, and I've later found out that Ray wasn't feeling too good. I mean, he didn't seem, when I was talking to him, didn't seem very sort of happy, chirpy like he appears in most of his videos. So apparently he got taken ill and or wasn't feeling very well and had to go home early, which is a shame. So if you are watching this, I hope it wasn't anything serious, Ray. Get well soon, mate, and hope to see you back on YouTube soon. Yeah, so round about 2:30ish, I sort of wandered over to the bar, and then obviously there was the big mass with Smizno Dave right in the middle of it, bit of people sitting down playing with toys, and a few people standing at the bar, and I was just sort of standing back, sort of watching the going on. And then you had the InGen crew, you know, the Amazing H, Luffy, Stylar, and they beckoned me over, and I had a quick chat with them. And then later on, Bobs and Excellion came around, and Excellion, Brad Excellion XLR came over and, you know, said hello, and that was the start of a really long chat that we had, me and him, for about a good 10-15 minutes, and just talking about stuff, not necessarily Transformer stuff, other stuff as well. And it was fantastic. You know, what a you know, fantastic, brilliant, genuine guy. You know, he was great. It's good chatting to you, Brad. Awesome. And I will say this, that was the highlight of my weekend, was having that chat with you. It was brilliant. I just wish I could have had, you know, more chats like that with some of the other YouTubers, but as you'll see as I get into things, it didn't quite go to plan. Then Vigadef came up to the bar, and I somehow got into this conversation with Excellion, Vigadef, and a couple of others. And obviously Excellion and Vigadef have a shared interest in Gundams, so that their conversation started with them having Gundams, you know, about Gundams, and then it sort of evolved over to talking about third-party figures. Now, I was stood facing Dorian Vigadef, and I was literally directly facing him, about 3 foot away from him, and he was his usual animated self when he talks. You know, he was quite, you know, quite animated, and I was just stood there watching. I wasn't saying anything, and he kept looking at me. He kept peering at me, trying to, I don't know whether he was trying to, you know, you know, who is this guy? You know, why is he just standing there? Why isn't he saying anything? You know, and he couldn't. I don't think he could fathom me out. Anyway, this conversation went on for about 10 minutes or so, and then Ben Waspshot came up, and he stood to my my immediate right, and he was having a quick chat with Dorian. And again, both Dorian and Vigadef, well, no, both Vigadef and Ben Waspshot, I am a double subscriber to both those guys on both my YouTube channels, and I'm fans of them. And I was just standing there, dumbstruck to a certain extent. I just didn't introduce myself, didn't make myself known. This is just me. It's just I just stood there, watched. I just couldn't say anything, and it was a little bit awkward for me. But you know, two of the guys that I like to watch on YouTube are just stood right there in front of me, right next to me. So then someone was talking about a certain third-party figure, and then they said, "Oh, let's go and have a look at it on the stalls." And then they went off, and that was about it. Also, was it before or a bit after that? Dave Mentz got up from the seating area and was going around with his camera, taking lots of pictures of the people that have been, you know, assembled there. And I was just stood there, and he looked up, he saw me, and he was bang straight in. You know, Wilderness or Widnas, and he just came straight in with a firm handshake, and you know, asked me, you know, what time did you get here? You know, how's it been, and all that. But he was taking these, you know, crazy sort of event photos, you know, selfies of himself more than he held his camera out and took a photo, and I sort of stuck my head over his left shoulder and went and stuck my tongue out. So at least I've got in one of his photos. But my meeting with Smizno was like that. It was like 10-15 seconds and it was over, and I didn't see him again throughout the rest of the event. And he's one of my favourite Transformers YouTube viewers. I absolutely love his videos. He's amazing. He's just crazy, but so funny. And I really, really wanted to have a good, meaningful chat to him about eye bags, but it wasn't meant to be. So that was another missed opportunity on my part. And then I went back into the main hall, did some more shopping, and then obviously bumped into Stu. Well, actually, no, it was towards the end of the event when it was like, you know, getting time for home, around sort of home time, about 5:15. I thought, okay, I'll do another lap around the hall to see if I can see anybody, and then I'm going to go up to them, say hello, goodbye, you know, just make myself known to them. And the only person I could find in the main hall was Stu the Mighty Grimnock. So this was about I think the second or third time I'd run into him during the day, and I just had another quick chat with him. Said to him, you know, enjoyed meeting you. Was boasting about how many Grimlocks I'd bought, and you know, and said that you know, been nice meeting you. So then I went up to the bar to see if anybody was at the bar. And I noticed that there was a few people at that time were having lunch. I know Jim Monkey's NTV was with his posse having dinner, so you know, I wasn't going to go in there and disturb them. And the only person I saw was the Juice up at the bar with a couple of friends of his having a very quick drink. And I stood behind him at the bar, hoping that he'd turn round and clock me, and then I could, you know, say hello to him, but he didn't. But he was having a nice quiet chat with his friends, and I didn't feel it right to interrupt him, so I stood around there for a couple of minutes, and then when he didn't turn around, then I sort of wandered off and went home. And that basically was my experience. Like I said, I'm a social cripple, you know. I'm not the sort of person that will go up to somebody and say hello to them. I'd rather somebody came up to me, which, as I'm still fairly unknown in the Transformers YouTube community, there's still quite a few people who haven't seen any of my videos. And the other thing is, I probably won't be fully integrated into the Transformers YouTube community, mainly because Transformers YouTube community is a Facebook page, and I don't do Facebook. I have my own personal reasons for not doing Facebook. I don't do the social networking thing, and So I won't really be able to become a real true active member of the group because of this. So if you want to communicate with me, you best do it through comments on my videos. Anyway, so that was that. And yeah, so again, disappointment. I wish I would have been a little bit more forward in talking to people. It would have been nice to have had, you know, lengthy chats with more people that, you know, I see on the YouTube channel. So that's basically my experience of auto assembly. Now for the aftermath. So obviously I got home, first person to get haul videos up on YouTube, getting a few views, had some subscriptions out of it, so done well, some good comments coming out. Now that I've experienced a you know, collectors conference, you know, collectors thing like that, I want to do it again. The only problem is I am absolutely skint now. I am absolutely brassoed. I really, to get that 450 quid together to spend at auto assembly, I literally had to raid the piggy bank, scrape the bottom of the barrel, and I've got absolutely no money left. So no more buying bots for me for a good couple of months. So I'm just going to have, and there's things, the thing with auto assembly is now that I've been to one, I've seen the sort of things that are out there and the sort of prices they go for. So, and there was things that were on sale there that I've since saying, right, I'd like to get some of those. Mostly Generations figures. I'm a bit of a fan of Beast Wars, so the new generation figures of Rat Trap and Rhinox, I'd like to get those. And then you've got Whirl and Roadbuster. Admittedly, there wasn't many Whirls there. I did see a couple, but there wasn't many. But there was loads of Roadbusters. And as for, you know, Kapow Toy and their absolute mountain they had of leader class Jetfires, well, no, there was plenty of toys about. And I've seen a few things that, you know, I would like to buy in the future. And obviously, it's also whetted my appetite for a few other figures. So I'm starting to build up my Grail list now. Obviously, I didn't get a few of the old gang characters, mostly the Diaclone stuff. So they're on my Grail list now. Even though the Browning, I might have to go for the third-party knockoff one rather than get a proper Diaclone one. The Jet Robo, they did do. I think the one I had when I was a kid was the knockoff one, the King Damo 6, rather than the actual Takara one. But again, it's just finding one. And then there's the Chronoform. There was I think it was the Space, was it the Space Bridge? Or another stall along there. They had a Diaclone, Browning, and someone had a boxed Chronoform, but they were like £100, 150 quid each respectively, and I wasn't prepared to pay that sort of money at that point. So I'll just have to keep looking. But other things that I've suddenly got a hankering for: RTS Perceptor. Don't know why. I reckon it's because of that third-party sort of Perceptor analogue that I bought, which I was a bit disappointed with, that KFC mini robo thing. It's, I don't know what to make of it. The colours on it, the grey and the black, just boring. And it's got inconsistency of tolerances on its joints. Some of the joints are loose, some of them are like tight as anything. It's got some weight to it. It's heavy and it's, you know, nice dense plastic, but it isn't anything what I expected. So I kind of want another Perceptor, and the RTS one looks kind of funky, especially in robot mode. So I'm looking to get one of those. Wouldn't say no to a Masterpiece Grimlock. Yeah, I seem to be getting a taste for collecting Grimlocks. So yeah, might be getting some of those. Might be looking to get one of those as well. And I'd really like a Megatron, a G1 Megatron. I'm not talking about the original toy. I'm talking about, you know, either a Masterpiece or a third-party representation of the G1 Megatron from the show. And obviously there's the Masterpiece Megatron, which is alright. I've seen some reviews of it, but it's like mega fiddly. But the one I want to go for, and this is on my Grail list, is the Toy World TW01 Hegemon. I've seen some reviews of that and quite liking the look of that. I'd like to get one of those at some point. So like I said, there's a few things on my list now that I want to get, and I'd love to go to another assembly, but you know, next auto assembly is not for 12 months. However, there is this. Roll out, roll call. Now, the thing with me is I do this voluntary work up at Manchester once a fortnight. So every fortnight I go away for 2 days up to Bury, north of Manchester, do the voluntary work, and then I come back home. But because I'm up there every other weekend, whenever there's another event announced anywhere in the country that I want to go to, 9 times out of 10 it clashes with a working weekend, which is a bummer. Because I feel obliged to go up and do my voluntary bit. Even though it's voluntary, I could quite easily just say, oh, I'm going to miss a weekend out and do this other thing. And yeah, so it clashes. And I was thinking, I disregarded roll out, roll call and says I can't go because it's a working weekend. But now that I've done auto assembly, you know, I'd really like to go, because there is a slim chance that some of the other Transformers YouTube community members that I wanted to meet who couldn't make it to auto assembly might be able to go to roll out, roll call. So I'd really like to go, and I've figured out a way to do it. I'm still going to be doing my 2 days voluntary labour up at Bury, but what I've done is I've booked the week off work after that weekend, so I can slide my working weekend 1 day across, or 1 day back, or forwards 1 day, you know, 1 day back, so that instead of going up Saturday, Sunday, it's Sunday, Monday, and then that leaves the Saturday free for me to go down to roll out, roll call. So I'm going to roll out, roll call on the Saturday, and I'm going to start saving up some money so that I'll have a bit of cash to go there. It won't be 450 quid this time. I'll probably might be able to scrimp together like 150, maybe. But that should be enough to get the generations figures that I want. So if anybody, any Transformers YouTube community members are thinking about going to roll out, roll call, then let me know in the comments below, please. And see if we can have a little bit of a meet-up. And then hopefully by then I'll have done a few more videos and I'll be a little bit, you know, better known to the Transformers YouTube community. So yeah, that's basically all I got to say about it. It was an experience. It was, you know, nice having that chat with Excellion, with Brad, which, like I said, the highlight of my weekend, to be honest. Really regret not being able to talk to Smiz no more, or even Vigadef. Would like to chat to Vigadef, because I want to go up to Vigadef and go, I think I could describe you in 1 word. And I really want to do that to Vigadef, but again, wasn't meant to be this time, so maybe in the future. As for auto assembly next year, I think I would very much like to do the whole 3-day weekend thing, because that it's all right going there with the intention of buying shitloads of toys, but it doesn't really give you much time to do the socialising side of it, really. So I think in order to, and a lot of the evening events that was on this year, like the Wolfgang band, the cosplay thing, I really would have liked to have attended those events. But, you know, as I was a 1-day pass holder and you're supposed to get kicked out at 5:30, I couldn't do it. So, but next year I'll have to see about, you know, doing the whole weekend. So do the whole thing, all 3 days. Go there the Friday, leave on the Sunday evening. Just do the whole shebang, and then that way I can stay over, maybe have a few drinks, socialise with the guys. It'll be much better. So that's at this point in time. Like I said, I've got no money at the moment. Won't be buying any more bots, but I'm, you know, saving up for roll call. And that's it. That's auto assembly for me, part 3. Hopefully some of you chaps will sort of know my face now. And you know, maybe in future, you know, when we see each other, you'll recognise me. So I will see you guys later. Bye.